Well, after the events of the last week, I hope you're able to get outside and enjoy this beautiful weather. And hopefully you're able to finish all of the assignments. I've been evaluating your titles assignments, and I want to give you some further advice about titles. So when it comes to titles, I think what you want to do is go into your document and pull out the most important nouns first. Because titles have to be specific. Why do titles have to be specific? Well, I think of them as lines of defense. You see, the most valuable thing in my life, at this point in my life, is time. Now, I realize I have to have a certain amount of privilege to even say that. There was a time when I would spend hours and hours doing something that may save me $10. Now I don't really worry about it. I'll spend $10. But time is very valuable. Think of all the time you spend studying. That time studying has to pay off somehow. Time is valuable. I cannot waste my time. But when it comes to titles, what I want is something to tell me when I'm not going to waste my time. So I think of it like the Vanguard. If you guys have read Game of Thrones or watched Game of Thrones, I think they mention it even in the show, but in the book they talk a lot about the Vanguard. The Vanguard is the first line of defense. It's the first wave of attack. So it's the people that they send out who probably aren't going to return, but it's considered kind of an honor if someone gets put with the Vanguard. So it's the first line. I think of the title that way. It can be the journal. You see, because there's so much written in every field that it's impossible to read everything. Even the fields that I do research in, things like technical writing, and also pop culture studies, which is where I do most of my writing and presentations these days. So if I'm researching something on science fiction, which is what I generally research on, I cannot read everything that's written, even on science fiction. I have to have safeguards for my time. So the journal is the first, but even when it comes to a civic journal, if it comes out 4 times a year and there are 20 articles in each journal, that's too many, maybe 10 articles in each one, I may only pick 2 or 3 of those because I don't have enough time to read everything. So how do I pick them? Well, first I look at the title, and that title has to tell me what is in that article. It has to be specifically descriptive. It cannot be vague. So I think I mentioned before, the first thing I ever presented at a professional conference was called "Is the Truth Out There? The X-Files as Postmodern Pop." That's an English title. That would not be an engineering title. Engineering would have to pull out the most important words because we want it to be precise. Yes, it should be concise, but it also needs to be precise, and that comes first. Remember, if technical writing is the tension between precision and concision, then precision is more important. So, pull out all those important noun strings from your document, the important nouns, and make it into a noun string. Because most titles, look at the ones you had, they're probably noun strings. The whole thing is just a big noun. So it may have a word that the first word may be a gerund. Often you can put how to at the beginning. So if the document is going to tell you how to convert a DeLorean DMC-12 so that it will reach velocity of 142 kilometers per hour in X seconds using a flux capacitor system, then the title may be converting a DeLorean DMC-12 to reach 142 kilometers per hour using a flux capacitor system. So it turns it into what's called a gerund. So the verb to convert, that's the infinitive form. Convert would be the normal verb phrase, would be made into a noun, converting. And that's called a gerund. It's like the verb to run. I ran. I am running. The gerund would be running. So it's generally the ing or the present participle, which makes it into a noun. So to run becomes a noun. Run, to run, running. Running is fun. Okay, I like running. You can put that at the beginning of a title. So converting, demonstrating, analyzing, showing, whatever you want. And then you can put those important nouns in. And you can put prepositional phrases to further identify the nouns. And that's generally how titles work. It'll be a long noun string made up with a verb form at the beginning saying what they're going to do, and then the rest will be nouns with prepositional phrases, such as converting a DeLorean DMC-12 to do something using some system, some form. Okay? Construction. What are you going to do? So, I hope this helps, and you will think about this when you write your titles. Make them specific, make them precise. Good luck.